It's cracking, everybody. Just got up. It's early as hell. But anyways, so I put out the video about my opinion about Ice Cube using the wrong strategy, right? And there's been a lot of comments. Gil put his video out, American Cholo checked his video out, and he felt that Cube was right. There are a few people in the comment section that feel he's right. And as I expected, there are a few people who feel like Raza don't need them, blacks. Been a few blacks saying that they don't need Mexicans. And so I wanted to do a part 2. Obviously, sticking to my guns. To be clear, first of all, Cube wasn't wrong to take this call and push his agenda, right? But to me, there's no convincing me that the way he chose to do it was the right way. Donald Trump is not a politician, right? He's a businessman. Now, one thing we know about Trump and what we know about all these people that run for office is that they're controlled by ego. They're controlled by where they will be, where they will sit in history, right? And so when we engage these people, when you engage people like that, period, but let's say we're going to stick to the topic. When you engage them and you want to get what you want, then you have to play into what they're motivated by. Again, ego. So had I gotten that call, remember, Cube had an opportunity to sit with the most powerful man on the planet, the President of the United States. No matter who's in that office, that's the most powerful man on the planet. And he had that opportunity. And like I said, to me, he chose a failed strategy and he shot himself in the foot. Had I gotten that call, had I had an opportunity to sit with the president, this is what I would have said. And remember, I have to use titles and use their language, right? So had I had that opportunity, I would have said, Mr. President, thank you for this opportunity. And I want to make sure that you understand that while I'm sure you're well aware, I want to reiterate that between the black and the brown community in this country, there are nearly 103 million people who have the majority of their life, or all of their lives actually, felt disaffected, left out, and completely turned off by the politics in this country. You would have an opportunity, if we can come together on this and really set this in motion, you would have the opportunity to change the face of the Republican Party for the next 100 years. If we were able to get this done, sir, you would be able to change, single-handedly change how the United States is viewed on this planet. You would go down in history as the greatest American president ever. That's the shit I would have said. I would have made sure that he understands you have over 100 million people by uniting these two communities. He's going to think of his place in history. He's motivated by that, right? And when you tell him there's 100 million people that you and I, if we put this together and we work together, there's 100 million people, over 100 million people that are going to be grateful and thankful to you. And even if you only get a third of them to turn Republican, remember, we have to use their language. You know, you can't go to another country that doesn't speak English and open up a business and think you're going to be successful if you can't fucking speak their language, right? And so when you're speaking to these type of people, speak their language. Tell them, I'm taking you to a pond full of fish and I'm giving you a net that's damn near as big as a pond. You're going to capture everybody, right? It's just shit like that. And this is why, to me, Cube was wrong. You know, to me, to say that I have a number of people in this, you know, it doesn't, these people's minds don't work like that. They're looking for, how do I go down in history as something great? You know what I'm saying? And again, like I mentioned, and I'll mention it again, Cube's been making movies and music for over 30 years, man. He's not, correct me if I'm wrong, get in the comment section and correct me, but how many people has he employed in South Central, in his old neighborhood? You know, how much of their concerns has he pushed ever in his career? It's some weird shit going on right now. And that's why I mentioned Nipsey, as he was creating his wealth, was putting it back in his community. And to me, action speaks louder than words. You know, I mentioned in a comment to someone else that, you know, Cube has been playing a role his whole life. He's a good kid. He was a good kid. He wasn't a banger. He wasn't about that life. He knew them people. You know, he grew up around people. He's like Dre. They grew up around people, but they were never about that. But Cube, more than Dre, has made the mean face and convinced people, you know, and it's been a role that he's prospered from. And I'm just wondering, is this a new role? And if it is, who is it benefiting? Because I don't see a strategy where you box yourself in and say, I'm not for anyone but this group, and you give these politicians and these decision makers a smaller group to affect, where absolutely, if they affect them in a positive way, it's a great thing. But you need to speak their language. You need to understand that if you're telling them, I mean, and that's not even counting the Asian population, the islander population, Native American, you know, you're just adding more millions for them to say, wow, we could really go down in history. You know, you put that shit in their head and they might run with it. And that's why, to me, Cube was wrong. That's all I was saying. He wasn't wrong for taking the call. He was right for taking the call. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the guy from the Biden campaign has already said in a nicer way that Cube's lying about the conversation between Cube and the Biden camp. He's also saying that the Cube's thing is more of an idea. It's not, his plan hasn't been fleshed out. It's not even all the way there. That right there, and I mean, it's a little bit irrelevant. A call was made and people were willing to work with somebody. And my whole thing is, you lessen your chances when you bring less to the table. That's simple. You know, you bring more to the table, you have a better opportunity of walking out with a deal. And Cube chose to, like I said, he went the Tariq Nasheed route. It's all about us. Fuck everybody else. And let's see what Cube gets done. I'm pretty sure it's nothing. All right, man, I'm out.